brought my gavel. This is going to be a good night, I thought. We call to order the meeting of March 15th, 2018 for the open session meeting of the Ayer Planning Board. Need a motion first to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'd like to, I'll second it.
Okay, discussion?
I think we should just rearrange the,
Well, I have, for points of discussion, I have the fact that minutes are not adequate at this moment for approval, so we need to defer that. And knowing the background of my discussion on open meeting law, the A&R law plan will be discussed at a later time when we have a board that does not have conflict of interest. So with that, we become a matter of town planner update and discussion on the town meeting proposed zoning revisions of the solar bylaw. So with that said, all approve, all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Unanimous. Let me move then right to discussion on town meeting proposed zoning revisions of solar bylaw and solar bylaw. Also, I want to welcome our town administrator, Robert. You're welcome to join us at the table, Robert.
Okay.
I know electronic communications are not normal at an open meeting, but I have got a message from my family. I've had some issues. I just got to check this a minute.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Haven't you been upgraded to mayor?
No.
Not yet.
How are you?
Perfect. How are you?
Okay, Mr. Chair, town meeting is next week, and we've been preparing for that, so I urge everybody to attend and support the new zoning bylaw that we're doing, as well as the new solar energy bylaw. And last week it was brought to our attention that there is a potential discrepancy between the definition of lot frontage and access driveways that encourage common driveways. Mm-hmm. And so at the direction of the town administrator, I prepared a one-page potential floor amendment to the proposed Ayer zoning bylaw that I will circulate. And, oh, the copy machine is broken down there, but
Now, just before you continue, I don't
Yes.
believe we've closed the public hearing on this, which we will
Yes.
do tonight.
no, the public hearing was closed at the last.
We did close it. Okay.
Yes.
Wanna
Yes, so
make sure.
unfortunately, this was brought to our attention after the close of the public hearing. But it is my understanding that it is possible to make amendments on the town meeting floor if they're in
Okay.
writing. And of course, the planning board would need to concur
Okay.
if it originates with them.
So, Mr. Chairman, in this issue that was raised, as you can see on the handout from Mr. Archambault, has to do with the definition as it stands in the proposed zoning bylaw for town meeting's consideration on lot frontage. You'll see there is a sentence that reads, "Vehicular access to a building site on the lot shall be exclusively through the frontage of the lot." And there appears to be, hence why this is being discussed tonight, that appears to be in conflict with section 9.1.5 B.4, which is page 62, on access driveways and interior circulation. And Mark, you'll do a better job, I think, explaining the potential
Right.
conflict.
Yes. A strict reading of the line that is proposed to be stricken is vehicular access to a building site on the lot shall be exclusively through the frontage of the lot. And on its surface, it appears to preclude the ability to do common driveways, which the last sentence of .15 reads, shared driveways serving residential lots are allowed and encouraged to reduce pavement and impervious surfaces. So to me, this seemed like a reasonable amendment in keeping with the definition of lot frontage that we have that otherwise requires that the line that you use for the frontage be potentially possible to use as vehicular access as well as providing legal access to the lot. So, I'm bringing this forth. I know it's somewhat complicated section of the bylaw that has to do with common driveways, but
I don't think it's, Mr. Chair, I don't think it's complicated at all. I think it's a perfect, it should be allowed. Same as a corner lot. If your frontage is on this and you want to pull in to the side, it should be allowed. So I'm in favor.
I don't see a problem with it.
Yeah.
I see a problem. So, first of all, I wouldn't make any changes to anything it's already been printed without consulting with Judy Barrett on the whole concept, because I think the definitions that are in the proposed new bylaw came mostly from her, and the upgrades came mostly from her.
yes.
I think she's probably, I've researched this topic on my own around the state. This language is in many, many definitions for zoning bylaw definitions around the state. So I don't have a problem with leaving it in. On top of that, the fact that the access driveways interior circulation section is basically always subject to approval by the planning board. It doesn't preclude the fact that the lots involved do have vehicle access to the building site, but the applicant simply wants to do less paving by creating common driveways to each house within those potential lots, a fewer driveways. But I believe that at least at the front end of the discussion, the access to the lot, the building portion of the lot from the street should stay in place. That if the applicant chooses to come into us or the planning board with a plan showing, less paving and common driveways, we take it on a case-by-case basis. But the definition, I believe, should stand based on the fact that we got it from the consultant, and I believe it's common in many bylaws around the state. I've seen it in other cities and towns. That's my opinion. And I don't think there's a conflict between the two. I think a lot on a street can easily have the correct vehicle access to the buildable portion of the lot, along with others on the street in a potential, let's say, 5 A&Rs in a row, and the person wants to choose to get a common driveway, they can choose to do that. We'll approve it in the best interest of the less paving, so forth, and less curb cuts.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Goldsmith has his hand.
Yes.
So we disagree with Mr. Diskin. One section says access to the buildable portion of your lot must be exclusively through your frontage. And there's no way you can do that and still have a common driveway that comes off of somebody else's lot somewhere else. And the planning board can't just wave this away and say, well, we'll approve a common driveway and let them do it, because it's a zoning bylaw. So you, by putting it in the zoning bylaw, you're now required to go get a variance. So I would need, to do any common driveway in town, anywhere, based on this, you're gonna need a variance from the section that says, on the one hand, you're saying you can come in over on this lot, cross this lot, and go here, and go here, and go here. You can put 3 houses on it. And the other one says, you have to come here, you have to come here, and you have to come here to get to each individual house. That's a conflict. No matter how you slice it, that's a conflict. And you never want to have a zoning bylaw that requires a variance in order to do what's allowed in the zoning bylaw. And in this case, the only way you could get a common driveway is to get a variance from that other section, which is a ludicrous thing to build into your bylaw. And this language is common in a lot of other towns, except it's usually not in the same bylaw. You either allow common driveways and you have language for that, or you require access through your frontage, which precludes common driveways in town. And a lot of towns that don't want common driveways put that section in, because it makes common driveways impossible. Physically impossible, you can't do it. And if you look under the common driveway section, part of the purpose of it is to reduce curb cuts. So common driveways reduce curb cuts as well. So instead of having 3 lots in a row, each one having a driveway 100 feet apart, you have one driveway down the middle and it splits and goes to 3 lots. Under this bylaw, with that section about without it stricken, you wouldn't be allowed to do that. And you'd have to go to ZBA to get a variance, and as we all know, variances are incredibly hard to come by and easily appealed. And especially in this case, you'd have to really, you'd be hard pressed to come up with a reasonable hardship
Oh.
to support your
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
since a picture is worth 1,000 words, I was wondering if Mr. Goldsmith could illustrate graphically where this might be a problem, because I was trying to explain this earlier, and I was not having as much success.
So if you have a roadway coming across like this, you've got a lot here, you've got a lot here, you've got a lot here. So you've got 3 lots, 1, 2, and 3. It's probably backwards. It says you can bring a driveway in concurrently like this down a lot line and then split it to each house. That's a common driveway. It also says you could take this across a lot and do it like this. That's a common driveway. Now you've got 3 houses being served by a common driveway. But as soon as you say you have to access your lot through your frontage, neither of these is accessed exclusively through its frontage. And this one isn't accessed through its frontage at all. Right? So you've got this one not being accessed through the frontage, this one only partially on each one. And there's no way, because your common driveway allows 3 buildings on a common driveway, there's no way to do that and get it accessed through all 3 frontages. Right? And your common driveway's always said you can have up to 3 lots on a common driveway. You've had a common driveway allowed in this town for a very long time. And the thing you've got to bear in mind is if you
Almost
take
bought
away...
a house on one.
There you go. So if you take away common driveways, you're taking away people's property rights, because there are people that have backland that can probably get access to it some other way that wouldn't be able to access it if you had to come through the frontage. And so now you're saying to people, well, you're no longer going to be able to use that land you've had for 20 years because you can't get to it, and you won't be able to use a common driveway, even though you're 30 feet off a road and somebody's going to let you put a driveway across their land to get to it. You no longer can. It's going to sit there frozen and useless because you can't get to it through your frontage. So I advise you to think hard about this. It was buried in a paragraph someplace. It looks pretty innocuous when you read it. It's going to have massive impact to people's property rights, as well as making your common driveway section, which you expand and discuss in much detail in the new bylaw, ineffective, because you can't do it without variance. That's my story.
I agree.
Sticking to it.
Does anyone on the board have a slightly different interpretation of? Sorry.
He knows I do.
Well,
I'll
let's
default
look
back
at.
to Judy Barrett, and
Okay.
because I think we really
Well,
depended on her for these definitions. And I understand Cal's got a legitimate point. It's a solid point. There's no question about it. My interpretation was a little bit different in that I took it to be that, and I'll use the same example, okay, that these 3 lots, okay, do have vehicular access day one. They are all sitting on the street and they have vehicular access ability to the lots. So they comply. And then the person would come in and choose to do something different and get planning board approval for that. But so far as they sit on the street, and if this wasn't completely unattainable to get across it, they did exist correctly under the bylaw with vehicular access to the buildable portion of the lot. then the second choice would be that they chose to come in and get approval for a different driveway system that would be more
You
beneficial.
don't have vehicular access to the driveway.
Well, you do. You've had it from day one. You did have vehicular access there, it exists. You can do it that way.
You mean just pulling off the road?
No, you could create it. You complied because you could create vehicular access. You could draw a plan.
This is where you get into trouble with bylaws.
That's
You
a
gotta
very-
look at what it actually says, not what you think it means.
Yeah, let me
That's it, okay.
let Mark weigh in here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Up on Ridgeview, Pingree Hill,
Yeah.
Rick came in and said, we have access off a 2A
Right.
for, I think it was 3 or 4 lots. What we'd rather do is come in from behind
I agree.
and do common drives, and, because it would make less traffic, hassle, everything off a 2A.
Right.
That make logical sense. I think that's the greatest thing in the world. I agree with Cal. I think
Yep.
we
Yep.
need to.
Yep. Been down there before.
Yep.
Further discussion, if any, on this matter? Mark?
Just given that, I'm not sure what the proper procedure would be to bring this to the town meeting floor, if we need to try to get an opinion from Judy Barrett first. I did show her this. Of course, it was just yesterday, so she has not gotten back to me yet.
Well, it sounds like the planning board's not in favor of it, at least not at this time.
Not in favor of what?
The floor amendment? Well,
Changing.
Of changing it.
I would.
What did I miss?
No, I think you're right. I would,
Oh,
if
you mean-
anything, I would wait for an opinion from Judy. But I don't.
We don't have time for town meeting.
well,
in that
we
case,
might
I would say don't do
if
it.
we
You've
can
already
get a
got
hold
this
of her
posed to her?
tomorrow. Excuse me?
You've already got the question posed to her?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, well,
yes.
then,
But, yeah, so when you said the planning board was not in favor of, doing away with this, or in favor of as written here? I was not clear with what was just stated.
well,
Yeah, okay, clear that up. How is it posed? I would say,
You're in favor of the amendment to remove it.
correct.
To remove that sentence, okay.
Correct.
Ah, all right, that's
So,
what I was,
you don't need direct access to each lot. You can have a common drive.
Right.
Am I correct? Right.
so in favor of striking that language.
correct, okay, that's,
Correct.
when you said first you weren't in favor, I didn't know if you
That's
meant
what I meant.
not in favor of even
It's
amending
my
it.
understanding,
Yes means
Okay.
no.
for
Yes,
clarity,
right,
that
yes.
Ken,
Now I
you're in favor
understand.
of including the language.
I'm in favor of asking Judy Barrett to clarify that language. If she feels that it's a problem, then,
Okay.
Do we have a
No.
quorum? Can we vote?
Yes, certainly. I mean, okay, I need a motion then to refer it for clarity to Judy Barrett for further discussion, potentially at town meeting.
Well, I think
If
you need
we
to
have
do more-
time.
You need to do more than that, because you're not gonna have another meeting before town meeting.
Right, that's what I'm
So if
saying.
this is gonna go to the floor, you need to vote
My
to do it
motion
tonight.
would be strike the sentence,
From the-
and
yep.
if we have time for Judy to get back to us with an opinion and have another meeting for clarification, fine. But I would say strike the sentence and
So you're,
That
so
would
you're
be
in
it.
favor of recommending this article, this amendment, be the town, so in other words, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the floor of town meeting and say, the selectmen are gonna present this amendment and the planning board's in favor. Planning board recommends it.
correct.
he doesn't, he's gotta make the motion first.
I just want to make sure I'm making the motion. We don't
Right.
need direct access to each lot.
Well, I think your motion wants to be to,
Yeah,
I'll make the motion.
the motion
It's gonna
would be
be-
to
so-
reference the proposed
That's fine,
change,
but I-
the floor amendment, the written floor
So
amendment, yeah.
we want to
Recommend.
strike the written floor
No,
amendment?
you wanna recommend
You
it.
want to
Okay,
recommend
we
that
wanna
you
recommend-
propose the floor
Okay.
amendment at town meeting to strike that sentence from the definition.
you want to, there it is, he's got it
Yeah.
highlighted.
Oh, it's- Okay,
Okay, motion to accept subject to approval of the planning board, access driveways and interior circulation reads. Dated March 19th, 2018. March 19th.
Well, that was the date of the town meeting, given that this would come
Yeah.
before the floor. Yeah, it's the 15th today.
You
So-
actually have to vote.
As moved.
Right.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
So to be clear, that will then strike the vehicular access to building site on the lot shall be exclusively through frontage of the lot, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
None. Motion carries.
Well, you can't say none. You have to say one.
Motion carries.
So the vote,
I know, it does
Yeah.
carry,
Say
but he,
unanimous, you said motion
the vote
carries.
was 2-1.
Yeah, I know.
Did you get the motion?
Two approved,
Yes,
one
to go.
disapproves,
Yeah.
and motion carried.
To accept the
You got the
floor
language?
amendment, yeah, accept the
Yes.
floor amendment pending
Yeah.
this request.
Motion, so the
Careful,
motion
I
is
gotta make
essentially
that
to bring it to the floor at town meeting.
It's probably worth mentioning that this amendment would also have a direct impact on the solar project that we just got approved.
On the what?
On the solar project that we just got approved. If that amendment does not go through.
Yeah, because you got a potential of 2 or 3 lots back there.
We have
Yeah.
2 residential and 1 solar site on Common Drive.
Okay, we are on to
Thank
town
you.
planner update.
thanks, Cal.
Did we finish the discussion of the rest of the bylaw, or we're just gonna consider that?
Well, I thought that was,
Well,
that was it.
yeah, otherwise, you know,
no,
I gave my presentation at the last meeting,
Right.
at the public hearing, and I have nothing new to add specifically. This was the only change that has been brought before us, a potential change regarding the zoning bylaw and the solar bylaw, so, you know, I
The
thought
others-
to bring
all
it.
the other items we talked about that were highlighted and whatnot,
Right.
those changes have been made. The
Correct.
typos and
Right, correct, yep,
stuff.
yep. The zoning bylaw is now, you know, at the town clerk in the form that it will be presented at town meeting.
Okay. Robert, while I got you here, election April 30th,
23rd.
23rd.
Mr. Chairman, the municipal election, let me just, forgive me, just to confirm, is Monday, April 23rd.
23rd.
Here is the local election. And in terms of the planning board races, the town clerk communicated to me that there is a Mr. Jonathan Kranz is on the ballot,
Mhm.
and then there is an open seat.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Heather, our next scheduled meeting, what's the
Oh,
first
you're
week in April?
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
I gotta get that.
You gotta answer that one. That's
I'll
gotta be
call
the
him, I'll
wife.
call him back. I actually should, because that's Florida, but that's another
Oh.
story.
Mr. Chairman, point of clarification, my error. Mr. Diskin is on the ballot for election,
Right,
and Mr. Jonathan Kranz is on the ballot for election.
okay.
My apologies.
Who's Jonathan?
So that we might address the A&R hopefully at our next scheduled meeting?
It should be the 5th, yes.
Yes,
April
April
5th.
5th.
Yes.
So it'd still
We
be,
would need to get permission from the applicant to extend.
Oh, yes.
Bypass your 21 days.
Right.
On the
21
A&R.
days from the days to
Right.
the clerk. Doesn't matter.
Well,
Doesn't matter.
After 20
Yeah,
days, 14 days, it goes by calendar days, not business days.
yeah.
Yep,
Under.
so we'll need to get them to agree to an extension.
It's calendar day, it's calendar day.
Okay.
it's an A&R?
Yes, A&Rs have timelines,
Yeah, it was time.
hence why we're meeting twice a month now.
No, I understand
Yeah.
that, but is there,
Yeah.
Ken can't recuse himself.
that's fine.
There's just only two.
But
No,
then
I
there's
lose
only
my
two.
quorum once he
No, I
leaves the
understand
room.
that,
Yes.
but does any of us have any issue with it?
You need to,
Well, we can't even
I can't
discuss
even
it.
discuss it.
if we don't have a quorum.
Once I,
Can't we discuss it but not vote?
no, no, That would be inappropriate
Okay.
for the one who has conflict of interest.
Okay.
Could I address it without the board addressing it, without any expectation that you're going to take a vote tonight?
Well, the minute I open it up, he would have to leave the room, and again, then I lose my quorum. I'd
And it's a
rather not go
procedural
there.
issue. And I'm not even asking you to open it up on the merits of the case.
I can't discuss it in open session because I don't have an open session without a quorum.
Can I speak generally about A&Rs, not specifically about the A&Rs before
I'd
you?
rather not. Only because it's. I'd rather not. I'd rather address it appropriately with a board
Which
that
one is
can.
the A&R? Where are we speaking about? I don't have.
Yeah.
Can't get in front.
So that said, I'll have to defer to Mark on that. What more do we have before us, Mark?
We have no further business before us. Am I correct, Heather? There are no other business items?
Okay, it's my understanding I need applicants' permission, though, to go beyond the 21 days.
To it.
April 5th, is that,
And we can't grant permission, which is what I wanted to say. I didn't want to be perceived as
right,
not playing nice. I think this process has been cooperative from the start in terms of the solar project,
yeah.
working with the board.
Well, my hands are tied on this based on the lack of a quorum.
So
Um,
when do we have to have a meeting?
April 5th is our next scheduled,
No, is April 5th going to work, or, because we can't
No,
go past
they will
the
not
time.
grant an extension.
Yeah,
Basically.
it's up Monday. I can't,
This
Right.
coming Monday?
yeah.
right, and the applicant now has indicated not willing to grant an extension.
And if he doesn't grant an extension, he
And it gets
gets,
constructive approval, I believe.
so
Yeah, it
either
might get
we schedule the
constructive
meeting,
The Monday before.
Can't, you don't have time to notice it.
we don't have time to notice.
And quite frankly, I can't guarantee it either because I'm out of town unexpectedly very, very soon, especially if my phone rings again,
Which it just did.
which it just did.
Okay, so
We're not asking you to do anything. Adam just wanted to make you aware.
Right,
That was the statement I wanted to make.
so
yeah,
so they automatically get it.
they will, yeah, because we can't act on it.
Okay.
Any further discussion on the business before us this evening? Okay. All that said, need a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Need a second? You can vote on that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.